Hello, good evening to you and welcome to News 360. The bulletin comes to you live from the News Hub here at Adisawe Kanda. I'm Natalie Ford.
My name is Alfred Okansi. Coming up in the bulletin tonight.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxe Paid,
GT Bank,
and Calipo. And the top stories this evening: police announce 15,000 CD bounty for anybody who can offer information leading to the arrest of killers of investigative journalist Ahmed Swale.
Meanwhile, the murdered Tiger IPI journalist has been laid to rest. Bring details.
Also ahead this evening, kingmakers in Dagbon settle on Yona chief of Savulugu, Abubakar Mahama, as next overlord of Dagbon.
And in business this evening, former workers of defunct UT and Capital banks begin receiving their severance packages.
And on the international front this evening, Zimbabwe blocks Facebook, Twitter and WhatsApp messaging amid a deadly crackdown on days of violent protest. Stay with us here on News 360 for the details of these stories and some more news. You can watch us all across the world on 3news.com and DSTV channel 279. Now, top story this evening: murdered Tiger IPI journalist Ahmed Hussein Swale has been laid to rest. According to Islamic laws, he was supposed to be buried on the same day of the incident, but the police had to carry out some investigations in connection with the murder.
Ahmed Hussein Swale was shot dead on Wednesday, January 16, 2019 at Medina by unknown assailants. The body was released to the family after an autopsy to enable Islamic burial rites to be conducted. The body was first sent to the Kuwait Mosque at Medina for a burial service. Islamic prayers were said for the late journalist. Family and friends, as well as government representatives, the Minister of Information Kojo Nkrumah and his deputy Pius Enam Hajide were present to witness the burial service. The final funeral rites were performed at the Medina Cemetery, where Ahmed Hussein Swale was laid to rest. Investigative journalist Anas Arimeyao Anas was present to bid farewell to his colleague.
Meanwhile, investigative journalist Anas Arimeyao Anas has been speaking to the BBC about the death. Let's take a listen to this.
Well, I think that we should all be very careful. It's early yet. What is, however, clear is that there were threats, death threats, some made openly, some also made on tape against us, which we tendered to police during the number 12 football investigation. We have to be careful. Murder is about proving beyond reasonable doubt. So I guess these are the leads that the law enforcement agencies will look at. And if there is any merit in it, I think they will be the best to make a judgment.
So how often do you get threats?
I think it's a daily routine. I mean, once a big story breaks, it comes with its own issues. The judges will come with number 12 will come with this. It's normal. So it depends on what you are handling.
Will this particular incident affect your work as an investigative journalist?
Well, last night, it was a very low day last night. It was clear that team members were so unhappy. But interestingly, this morning, people are energized. They are back to their desk. See, those who come after our lives, the best thing to do to them is to tell them we are strong.
Well, let's stay on this a little longer, as the Ghana Police Service has announced a 15,000 CD ransom for anyone who volunteers information which will lead to the arrest of the killers of investigative journalist with Tiger IPI Ahmed Hussein Swale. The Inspector General of Police, David Asante Apietu, made this known at a meeting with the Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry.
Many Ghanaians, including President Akufo-Addo and former President John Dramani Mahama, have called on the police service to speed up their investigations and arrest those who murdered the member of Anas Arimeyao Anas Tiger IPI team Ahmed Hussein Swale as soon as possible. Ahmed was murdered in cold blood by unknown assailants late Wednesday night at Medina in Accra. Inspector General of Police David Asante appeared to during a visit by the Interior Minister Ambrose Derry to the Criminal Investigations Department CID, said the public must be willing to offer information that will lead to the arrest of the killers.
For all these cases, we're going to give 15,000 Ghana cedis each to anyone who will provide information that will lead to the arrest and the prosecution of these offenders.
Director General of the CID, DCOP Mame Yati Adodankwa also revealed that the MP for Ascent Central Kennedy Japan has volunteered to assist the police in its investigations.
There's a procedure for inviting members of parliament. We have already initiated. When we started the procedure, like sending a letter to the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Kennedy Japan on his own decided that even before the speaker informs him that he's been invited by the police, he volunteered that he will come and tell us whatever that he knows about the case. So it is true that we have been in touch with Honorable Kennedy Japan, and the investigation from that side has also begun.
Interior Minister Ambrose Derry also assured Ghanaians of their safety despite the recent spate of seeming contract killings.
Ghana is safe. Yes, it can be safer, and that is what we are working towards. If you talk about the sub-region, we are the safest destination. Our neighbors is not for this forum. You go there and there's a lot of disorder, a lot of threats. Ghana is safe, but we are not resting on our oars because we want you to feel safe. But we are going to make sure that we investigate these matters, and the police, by what the IGP has said, we have agreed some operations will take place to try to. We do not have a perfect system, no doubt about it, but we have a system that works and want it to work better.
Well, a statement just coming through from the world governing body of football, FIFA, has also condemned this particular murder, and they're hoping that the perpetrators of this heinous crime will be arrested and brought to book. But let's still stay with Interior Minister Ambrose Derry, is cautioning the public to desist from issuing ultimatums to the police to fast-track its investigations into these recent crimes. He says the police must be allowed to carry out its mandate judiciously.
Relatives of murdered undercover journalist Ahmed Hussein Swale are asking the police CID to work speedily in ensuring that those behind his murder are brought to book. Interior Minister Ambrose Derry, delivering his address at his maiden visit to the CID on Friday, said anyone who takes the law into their own hands would face the law if arrested.
I also want to tell all who are speaking on TV and radio now that when you make statements like, I give the CID 1 week, and after that, something would happen. This should be left for the CID to do its work. And the CID will do all it has to do. And I'm today asking you to do that, and do that expeditiously. In whatever way you think that we would facilitate that professional, diligent, and expeditious investigation, we would do it.
Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, DCOP Mame Yati Adodankwa, appealed for a digital forensic laboratory and tools for her department to enhance their work.
We've been using private lab for most of our investigation, and we'll be grateful if the CID can have the digital forensics lab set up for us, and also digital forensic tools where we can use them to examine computers and other things as part of our investigating process. And also the crime lab should always be operational so that the DNA, ballistic, fingerprint, and all the other sections can support investigative activity throughout the country.
Well, a lot more on that in our subsequent bulletins. In some other news this evening, the Aviation Minister Joseph Kofi Adda has confirmed the dismissal of the Managing Director of Ghana Airport Company Limited, John Atefua. The Sector Minister, who signed the dismissal letter on Wednesday, January 16, however, declined to give any details about why the Managing Director was sacked.
The letter dismissing John Dechem Atefa was addressed to the board chair of the Ghana Airports Company Limited, Oboshisai Kofi. It directed that John Atefa hand over to his deputy, Yao Kwakwa, who will act as managing director.
Instructions have gone to the board for replacement of the managing director of the Ghana Airport Company. That has been done, or has been done by the Ghana Airports Company Board. And that's the process we've gone through, and so replacement is going to be announced very soon on that front. The acting MD is the Deputy Managing Director. He's going to be acting until substantive MD has been appointed.
But was the Managing Director sacked for sabotaging government policies and initiatives within the company? And would the Oboshisai Kofi-led board be dissolved?
I will not comment on that for now. Let's wait till we hear from them. It's the discretion of the President. His appointment is based on what he sees fit for the nation. I can be here, I can be out any moment. So that's left to the President to decide.
John Dechem Atefa was appointed Managing Director of Ghana Airports Company Limited by President Akufo-Addo in March 2017. John Dechem Atefa took over from the Charles Asari-led administration, charged with the mandate to ensure all ongoing projects and those on paper before the transfer of power are executed to the letter. John Atefa is a management consultant and until his appointment was the Managing Director of Virtual Assets Limited, a market research company.
Let's move off north, where kingmakers in Dagbang have settled on Yona Chief of Savelugu Abubakar Mahama as the next overlord of Dagbang after a rigorous search for a successor to the late Yana Yakubu Andani, who died in 2002. Yona Abubakar Mahama is the head of the Andani family and has been a key participant in the processes leading to the roadmap towards peace in Dagbang.
3 other names came up for the selection of the new Yana: the Tampiona, Chief of Tampion and the Regent of Dagbon, Kampaku Yana, Abdullahi Yakubu Andani, and the Bolinlana Abdullahi Muhammadu. Per the customs of Dagbon, new Yana must be taken to the Katini Palace, graveyard of late overlords, to undergo some traditional rituals to mark a successful enskinment. He will then be moved to the Gbewa Palace.
Have to come and then remove some touch from the hall of Yana's palace, and that is what he will bring to the Kugana, and the Kugana will add some cola and give it to the one that is elected. We have selected the Saluguna as our new Yana, and so when that touch, the piece of grass, was given to me, I added some cola and then sent it to Yona, signifying that he is a new Yana.
Dagbon for the past 16 years has been without an overlord. It has been under the care of the regent of Dagbon, Kampaku Yana Abdullahi Yakubu Andani, son of the slain king. Meanwhile, a dusk to dawn curfew has been imposed on Yendi and its environs by the Interior Ministry.
You're watching News 360. Let's now turn to our mission segment, which is brought to you by Star Ghana with support from UK Aid, Danida and the European Union. In Mission this evening, access to the Disability Common Fund in the Kwewu Afram Plains district of the Eastern region is not easy. Stanley Niblo reports that those who have benefited from the fund are yet to see improvement in their living standards.
The 1992 Constitution of Ghana makes provision for the establishment of the District Assembly's Common Fund, which obligates Parliament to annually make provision of not less than 5% of the total revenue of Ghana to the District Assemblies for development. The allocation is made quarterly into the District Assembly's Common Fund, of which 3% is committed to persons living with disability fund, which aims at reducing poverty among all PWDs, particularly those outside the formal sector of employment. The passage of the Persons with Disability Act 2006, Act 715, which reinforces the constitutional provision, has been welcomed in Ghana's human rights discourse due to the essential relief it provides beneficiaries. However, the fund is not easily accessible, especially in the Kwewu Afram Plains North district of the Eastern region. There are more than 600 identified persons living with disability in the district, but the fund has not benefited many of them. Last year, for instance, only 43 persons benefited from the fund, leaving many not served. District Chief Executive for Kwewu Afram Plains North, Samuel Kena, explains why.
For a quarter, maybe what will come will be about 30,000. You see, 30,000 cannot, so maybe in a year we'll put all, maybe normally, even though it is supposed to be 4 quarters, but per the financial administration law, 3 quarters will come and then the 4th quarter will come the following years. So we put all those monies together and then we do it.
The selection criteria for beneficiaries has been questioned by many PWDs, but District Head of Social Welfare and Community Development at Kwewu Afram Plains North said due process is followed in the disbursement of funds.
When somebody applies, the committee sits down to do an assessment of the application. So where we are not convinced, we send a team out to go and meet the person with disability and ask, you wrote for A, B, C. Which one is the most urgent that you think when we do for you, it will enable you become self-dependent?
Some persons living with disability claim to have been relegated to the background. They lamented that persistent attempts to get them registered have not been successful. The District Assembly insisted I write a letter to officially apply for the fund, which I did, but I was later told my letter was missing, so I could not access the fund. The 3% of persons with disability fund, I'm told, serves 3 purposes.
We have 80% of the fund going to empowering PWDs. We have 10% going into health and then 10% going to education. So it's not all into self-empowerment.
Ajibu is a popular carpenter at Donko Chrome and has 1 apprentice. Both the master and his apprentice are all living with hearing and speech impairments. Their inability to access the fund is taking a toll on their business. Ajibu and his apprentice have both applied for the fund, not less than 3 times. However, their names have not been captured. Ajibu tells the mission team he has plans to expand the carpentry work and also provide skills to more interested persons living with disability, but this is yet to be realized. Disability, they say, is not inability, and so Ajibu and his apprentice are striving to make ends meet through the carpentry work in spite of their conditions. They believe accessing the Disability Common Fund would improve their lives. Ajibu's biological mother has assisted her son in all 3 attempts to get him captured, but the constant denial has frustrated her efforts.
I've tried several times for him, but he couldn't succeed. And even the director is my best friend, so I've been consulting him all the times. But he also told me they haven't released the money to him, so that's why he couldn't help him. So I stopped going there.
Delay by central government in releasing the District Assembly's Common Fund has also been another hindrance to beneficiaries.
Once we have funds, we can do it. If the quarterly allocation or releases has not come, we can't do anything. Yes, because we use their share of the fund to support them.
Like the 2 carpenters, there are several other persons living with disability who equally need help. Physical cash is no more given to beneficiaries.
Unlike previous years where money's physical cash were disbursed to the beneficiaries, that is people with disabilities. This government is saying, no, why don't we give them something that will keep them in business, so that maybe after some time they will no longer come out to the streets begging. So he tasked all these assemblies not to give out fiscal cash.
Those who have been fortunate to access the funds are yet to derive benefit from it. Raymond Delawanu and Malik Nuhu are two of the 43 beneficiaries. They received a photocopier each with the purpose of establishing a business center for themselves. They are both cash-strapped, and so the photocopiers have not been put to use.
It's only the photocopier that I had. The computer attached to it, no. So now before I'm preparing to get something small to buy the computers and start my business.
If I also get more computers, my plan is to train my colleague disabled to also become computer literates so that they can also be able to do something on their own.
Malik Nuhu's biological mother is also visually impaired, but not a beneficiary of any of the social intervention programs, making life in the family difficult. Frustrated PWDs with complex disability rarely have their concerns tabled before the district chief executive because the office is not easily accessible.
This is all the public institutions. You go there and I don't know if your office is not on top, you are not big man or what. I don't understand, because let's take it that if I have something to discuss with the DCE now one-on-one, it will be a hassle to get him.
Section 6 of the Persons with Disability Act 2006, Act 715, holds that the owner or occupier of a place to which the public has access shall provide appropriate facilities that make the place accessible and available for use by a person with disability. However, the Kweu Afram Plains North District Assembly, like other public facilities, have not heeded to the provision in the Act and needed to be looked at. Stanley Niblu, TV3 News, Donko Chrome, Kweu Afram Plains North, Eastern Region.
Well, clearly a very, very worrying situation there. You can get more stories on persons with disability on our website. It's 3news.com. And that does it for our mission segment this evening. It's brought to you by Star Ghana with support from UK Aid, Danida and the European Union. Over to you, Alfred.
Thank you, Natalie. Now let's get into our citizen report and an MTN video report. Tonight, our citizen journalist Samuel Mensah reports on the nature of a road at Adafiano in the Volta region.
This is a small community in the Ketusa municipality of Aplau called Adafianu. On our road here, it is not manhole. We have manholes on our roads. We have decided to box the holes this morning. As you can see, the holes are too big that even fishes can be seen in these manholes over here. Very well. As you can see, the guys this morning, they decided to do this thing for the community. Reporting for MTN TV3 News, this is Samuel Mensah from Adafianu.
You can also send your video report to MTN number 055-1433-044. Live here on News 360. Stay with us. There's some good news for UT and Capital Bank workers tonight. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Hello, good evening and welcome to the business news segment on News 360. To begin with, some staff of the defunct UT and Capital Banks have begun receiving their exit packages. Others are yet to complete their forms to receive their packages at the various branches of GCB across the country.
Some of the staff who thronged the GCB head office to receive their exit packages declined to speak on camera. Though the news team was not allowed entry into the banking hall, our sources say more than 50 staff both from the UT and Capital banks have signed the forms to receive their monies. The source further indicated that some of the staff from Capital Bank have had their accounts credited. It indicated that the rest of the accounts are expected to be credited from next week. In crediting the accounts, those who received loan facilities would have it deducted. The Bank of Ghana has since released in excess of 42 million cedis to pay off workers who were laid off. In all, 960 former staff of the two banks are to be paid. Some of the staff from UT Bank are expected to receive more than 200,000 cedis as packages. Others are likely to receive 233 cedis as severance. Some staff of Capital Bank and UT Bank are currently receiving their exit packages. Others have declined not to count for the packages because it is woefully inadequate. Would PricewaterhouseCoopers, which engaged in the joint receivership process, be able to extend the date for them to count for their money? Time will tell. Daniel Opoko, TV3 News.
And here in the studios of TV3, my name is Pa Kwesi Asare. Now, Ghana is exploring the option of sourcing for aircraft from Canada to make up the fleet for the national home-based carrier. The Canadian deal, if successful, will bring the number of home-based carriers to 8, including 4 from the Ethiopian Airlines to start with.
Ghana's long search for a home-based carrier was finally settled in December last year when the country signed a deal with Ethiopian Air. The East African partners were to supply 4 fleets in addition to 4 from Ghana, and this is where the country is seeking for Canada's intervention.
Canada has a good track record and history of doing well in the aviation sector, particularly in the manufacturing of aircraft, the Bombardier plant in Toronto. That's why we're thinking we can acquire some aircraft to add on to the fleet of the home-based carrier that we're going to bring about very soon.
Joseph Kofi Adda also explained why Canada was selected.
They also have some potential credit facilities, such as export credit, that they could make available to us to be able to acquire the aircraft. And so we're discussing those potential areas for collaboration. What we're going to be able to bring about to complement that contribution, and so on and so forth.
The aviation minister is again looking at other options from Ghana as a way of improving the local aviation industry.
There's a need also to get some support in building capacity in the aviation sector, particularly as we move away from just the airline operations alone to the supporting services, such as the repairs and servicing of the aircraft, the training of pilots, the training of crew. They do manufacture also what we call simulator. We need those equipment here to support the capacity building in setting up the training schools and the services of the aircraft.
If successful, Ghana will kickstart her long-awaited home-based career with 8 fleets of international standards.
Meanwhile, Canada is to support Ghana in data collection and training to help develop the aviation industry. Canadian High Commissioner Heather Cameron disclosed this when she paid a courtesy call on the Aviation Minister Joseph Kofi Adda in Accra.
Bilateral relations between Canada and Ghana are strong and based on more than 60 years of global cooperation, particularly in the United Nations and the Commonwealth. The visit to the Aviation Ministry by the Canadian High Commissioner was to discuss potential areas of collaboration between Ghana and Canada to strengthen the aviation sector in Ghana. The two officials touched on issues of capacity building and export credit facilities that Ghana could source from Canada,
including through data collection, through training, other services where we think that Canadian companies and our two governments working together can help to develop the aviation sector here in Ghana for mutual benefit.
The Aviation Minister Joseph Kofi Adda appreciated the long years of bilateral relationship between Ghana and Canada. He viewed any intervention from Canada in Ghana's aviation sector as key to the agenda of becoming the aviation hub in West Africa.
We've had a long history of collaboration with Canada in the economic side. They've helped with fiscal decentralization in particular. They've brought about financial reforms in the country. They've also supported the water sector, particularly in northern Ghana. the legal framework, and I think now they're in agriculture as well. So they are potentially, not potentially, they're really a good partner to work with in developing the areas of collaboration to see how we can bring about a transformation of the aviation sector in Ghana.
That's all for the very latest in business news. For more business news stories, do log on to our website, www.3news.com. My name is Pa Kwesi Asari. We'll take a short break.
Welcome back to News 360. Miriam joins us for the latest in entertainment.
Right. So in entertainment tonight, it's been another stressful week, and TV3's Music is here to entertain its viewers and help you release some stress. This Saturday pledges to keep up the standard of music as high life artist Bisa Kade and rising Afrobeat artist Kelvin Boy are set to grace the stage and give you a great show.
Entertainment news is brought to you by
Vodafone. The future is exciting. Ready?
Roma insecticide spray and mosquito coil. Middo.
January 12, which was week 5 of Music, was successful with thrilling performances from the music group Prayer and the Kill Me Shy hitmaker Dr. Crime. The artists were delighted to watch on stage. There's an assurance of a fan-packed and extremely entertaining show this week with back-to-back hits from the multi-award-winning high life artist Bisa Kade.
Yo, what's up, my people? This Saturday, Music, Bisa Kade. I'm going to be there live. Make sure you be there. It's free for everyone, 7 p.m. See you.
Passing through that night is Tomboy's protege and Benetton Music Group signee Kelvin Boy. The young artist promises to cheer audience up with his live band tactics, something he's best known for.
Charlie, where my people there, it be Saturday. Charlie, where my people there, show me where the money there, we dey calculate. What's up? This Saturday, we dey come for music. You know, say live band thing. This time, me, I know the mime. It be live band thing. Come in your numbers. Come support the Afrobeat Batman, Kelvin. But this time, if you show me ginger, yeah, I go show you pepper. Well, and if you throw me fire, I go pour you water. Don't miss this one, yeah. Lie.
Grab a seat at TV3 Studio B on Saturday at 7 p.m. and let's have an amazing experience. Music is free.
Stay away from the troubles. And if you believe, you go there, achieve.
Now make sure you don't miss that tomorrow at 8 p.m. Ghanaian filmmaker Peter Sedofia's Keteke has been nominated for the category of Yenenga Gold Standard of the 2019 Pan-African Film and Television Festival of Ouagadougou, FESPACO. The movie, including 9 other movies from 16 African countries, have been nominated.
Released in 2017, the award-winning movie Keteke has received over 10 awards and nominations both nationally and internationally, including the Special Jury Award in Egypt and the Jury Special Mention Prize at Koribja African Film Festival in Morocco. Directed and produced by movie director Peter Sedufia, the movie has gained yet another international award nomination, that is the FESPACO Yenenga Gold Standard category. Starring Fred Niamugi, Ajetia Nang, Lydia Forsen, Clemento Suarez, and other top actors, the movie was nominated amongst 20 films from 16 African countries. The movie tells a story of a couple living in Pune who are bent on delivering their first baby in their hometown in Akete, but they missed the train, which is their only means of transport.
Are you not the one that put it here?
I did. Well, you could have resisted me if you didn't want it.
What has come over you? You have come all over me.
The producer of the film, Peter Sedufia, says he's humbled and honored by the nomination.
To be in that particular festival at this time is such a privilege, it's such an honor, and it's a prestige, I must say. So yeah, I'm very excited to be part of it. I'm humbled at the same time too. I didn't imagine that it will get to such an international platform or a worldwide platform. So that is what I'll say is a surprise.
On his next movie after the award, he promised to continue producing world-class movies for his audience.
This year I'm focusing more on how to reach a worldwide audience with my films.
Other movies for the category include Five Fingers for Marcel's from South Africa, Karma by Khalid Yusuf from Egypt, The Mercury of the Jungle from Rwanda, and T-Junction from Tanzania. The Pan-African Film and Television Festival of Ouagadougou is an 8-day film festival in Burkina Faso held biennially in Ouagadougou, where the organization is based. This year's selection reflects the diversity and uniqueness of cultures and stories from all over the world.
There's more news on 3news.com. I'm Miriam Mosei Ajman. Have a good evening. There's more news after this break.
My name is Alfred Akansi.
I'm Natalie Ford. You can get a lot more news on our website. It's 3news.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening and a lovely weekend.